Hello. I'm afraid this stream is completely unplanned. It was supposed to be at 7:30 this evening, and I was supposed to have a friend coming round today to watch a double bill of Goodfellas and Casino. This person had never seen either of these films before, so I was very much looking forward to cooking them lunch and showing them a double bill of Casino and Goodfellas. But they can't come until later now. So something's come up. They've had to rearrange. So I've had to basically bring this forward, which is a little bit annoying because I'm trying to keep my streams on a regular fixed schedule. Although the Lone Wolf stream is the one thing that I do move around a little bit because it is quite niche. Demonstrated by the fact that there's no one watching right now. Anyway, but I'm going to push on. So, because I've got a bit of time to kill. So I'm going to push on with book 6 because this is my big quest to get all of the Lone Wolf adventures completed online. Book 6 is The Kingdom of Terror. This is the original with the giant mutant dragon toad on the front of it, and then I also have the new version here, which actually the cover of which is what have I done with it now? Oh, it's behind me. The cover of which is here and has the beautiful map on the inside, which I've actually sort of taken a photograph of and I have enlarged so we can see where I am at the beginning of the adventure. Now, if any of my regulars happen to pop on today, I might get someone to come on and do the adventure with me because it's always a bit more fun if someone jumps on the stream. So if any of the regulars pop on and happen to see this, drop me a message in the chat and I might bring someone on for a laugh to help me complete the adventure. So this is book 6 of 10, and so far I've died twice. One of those times I'm going to say really shouldn't have counted because it was kind of a loophole in the book, and I realised that it was an impossible loophole to get past unless you happen to have loads of money, and then you just get killed by sleeping in a hayloft, which seemed very unjust to me. But on the second occasion, my guest co-host suggested a poor choice, which resulted in our immediate death. Now, the book 6, The Kingdom of Terror, is basically set in an area called the Stormlands in Magnamund. If you're not familiar with Lone Wolf, it's all set in the world of Magnamund. It's very much a kind of Lord of the Rings-esque style fantasy, choose your own adventure. This was a series of books that came out in the 80s. And they are being reprinted and reissued and slightly updated, sort of new editions, as it were, with new artwork and new covers anyway, plus the original Gary Chalk artwork. Now, the Stormlands are made up of several small kingdoms. You can see them all here, which is Casorn. You've got Magador, Delden, Eldenora, and so forth. And this whole area to the left of the river Okra, I don't know how to pronounce that. Oru Lauda. I don't know. That doesn't sound right. So I've just travelled in the preamble of this book. I don't go back to the Macon Gorge. I travel down to Ruanan, then take the long road via Casorn, which is a friendly city to my nation of Summerland. Summerland is located up here. And then travel from Casorn to Qualen, have a fairly pleasant stay there. And then I'm traveling into the kingdom from there. And my first port of call is to the city of Veretta. Now, the reason for this mission in the first place is that I'm trying to find an amulet, a powerful amulet, which is rumored to be located somewhere in these kingdoms. We're not exactly sure where. So Valletta there is at the top there. I've just come from this place. You can see Macon Gorge, which is the Chasm of Doom that appears in book 4. And now I am going to do my best to see if I can find this amulet. Okay. Let me tell you about the background to this particular story. In fact, it's a bit dark in here, so I might put a light on. Just bear with me a second. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So 3 years have passed since the last adventure, and I have I found this book called the Book of Magna Kai, which is but much of the script in it is faded. But this is kind of like the book that sort of teaches the Jedi skills, if you like, of the Kai, of which I am one, kind of fighting race of monks whose job it is to kind of look after the world. Now I've been asked by the king to seek and find the Law Stone of Vareta. For this wonderful gem holds power and wisdom. Yeah, two things I definitely don't have. Are the only words that you can still decipher. Oh, that's right. This is written in the book by the Grand Master. Although his verse is brief and incomplete, it gives you hope. You recognize Vareta. It's one of the oldest cities in Magnamund. It lies in the Stormlands beyond the Macon Gorge. You resolve to set out on your quest without delay and recover this stone. Now, the Darklands are in a bit of a state of civil war at the minute. And the Dark Lord's agents are trying to cause problems as per normal. So I set upon my quest to get the Law Stone of Vareta, unaware of what wonders and dangers may await me in this distant, war-torn city. Okay, all right. So I think the norm is that I'm going to... Right, let's have a look. There's a few things I'm going to add on my character sheet. Bit of updating here. So I'm allowed to take certain things. I've already got Summer Sword, which is my special weapon. I'm going to take the jeweled mace as my second weapon. I think it might come as a special item, though. However, the following special items may be carried over, or they can be left in safekeeping at your monastery. So I'm going to keep... There's a few things I'm going to keep which actually helps my endurance, increases my endurance. So endurance are like hit points. So I've got +2 for a waistcoat. And then there's also +2 for a helmet, which you can take with you if you wish. So I'm going to add that as well, because more endurance is good. Trust me, I've nearly died in combat many times. I've not died yet in combat in the game. So that I'm quite pleased about. +2 for a helmet. That puts my endurance at 26. My combat skill currently is 30 with the Summer Sword and +2 for my shield. Yeah. So, yeah, jeweled mace is not the second weapon I'm carrying. Right. Okay. No, because it comes as it's a special item. So let me remove that from there. So, I'm going to dispense with the silver token. I don't need that. I'm going to chain waistcoat. Yeah, so you can carry up to 12 special items. Some of them are weapon-like special items, but they're still they're still in your they're still in your special items limit, which is 12. So I'm going to keep my spear. Let's get rid of that. Okay, so I had 38 gold crowns plus 14 saved over from my previous mission, which actually gives me I've got 52, so I'm gonna leave 14 behind, take the 38 with me, plus I get 10 more because I get given 10 before I go up to 10 before I go on a mission. So hey Aram, how you doing? This is an unscheduled stream because I was supposed to actually have a date this afternoon, but that's been cancelled. So that's rescheduled to this evening, which is when I was going to do this stream. So I don't normally do streams on a Sunday afternoon, partly because I don't like clashing with Lorenya's streams, which I like to watch, and also your own RM has a stream normally, I think, around 4 o'clock my time UK, and maybe 3 o'clock UK time, I forget. So yeah, so I this is unplanned. So I haven't got anybody to come on and do the choices with me. So if you fancy coming on, let me know, and I'll send you the link. I'm doing this anyway because I was going to do it tonight at 7:30, but I've had to bring it forward, which is why I've got nobody watching. But hey, you know, I'm going to do this quest to complete these books, whether people watch it or not. So yeah, now I've got to. Now there's a load of new skills that I can choose. These are because I've kind of gone up in rank. So before I was like a Jedi acolyte. Now I'm a Magna Kai, which is the next level up. So having studied and absorbed wisdom contained within the book of Magna Kai, you've now achieved the rank of Kai Master Superior. Sounds a bit like a mother, like a matron. Yeah, I'll send you the link via Twitter. Bear with me just a sec. Oh, I forgot to do that, didn't I? Silly me. Okay. Yeah, bear with me for a second, Oren. Let me just finish this bit. So it is this means you've mastered 3 Magna Kai disciplines listed below. It is for you to decide which 3 skills these are. As all the Magna Kai disciplines will be of use to you at some point during your adventure, choose the 3 starting skills with care. The correct use of Magna Kai discipline at the right time could save your life. The disciplines are divided into 3 groups, and each group is governed by a separate school of training. These groups are called law circles. By mastering all the Magna Kai disciplines in a particular law circle, you gain increases to your basic combat skill and endurance points. Refer to the rules section entitled Law Circles. Yeah, so that could be quite useful. I remember reading about this the other night. Magna Kai discipline enables you to become proficient in all. Oh yeah, no, I've done that bit already. Okay. Right. Yeah. So I'll get into those circles in a bit. Yeah, meals. All right, okay. Let me send you this link because I feel so ill prepared for this stream because I was not planning on doing it at this time, but hey, things happen. So don't I know that about life, eh? Right. Let me. I think I'll email it to you, Aram. So let me do that. Oh, I've got a delivery about to arrive any time. That's really helpful. Oh. Let's drop that. Okay. Okay, Aram. I've emailed you. I've emailed you that link. So I'll add you in a sec. Okay. So I've got to choose these. I've got to choose these skills, and I've got to choose 3. And a lot of them are pretty similar to the skills I already have, but they're like more advanced versions of the skills I already have. So I already have in fact, now I have all of the basic lower level skills, of which there are 10. Yeah, so it's so basically the 10 skills I have, I'm going to pop these in the chat. These are the ones I have already. This will fit. Don't know if it'll fit. Yeah, it does. There we go. So oh, that's come out a bit horrible. Okay, so I've got healing, hunting, mind over matter, mind shield, tracking, sixth sense. I've got a +2 ability in broadsword, not +28, which is what it looks like there. Camouflage, animal kinship, and mind blast is the 10th one. So I have all of those already. I am going to just check a couple of other things. There's some. I just want to make sure I've got all the stuff I want to take. So equipment, I can pick of the following items in addition to those I already possess. But remember, I can only carry 2 weapons. You may take up to 7 of the following items. So I'm only allowed to take 1 potion of lamp spur. I'm definitely going to take that. That's like the healing potion. Quiver containing arrows. See, I think a bow would be quite a useful weapon, actually. So I'm definitely gonna dispense with my spear. So I'm going to dispense with my. I'm going to have a bow, and I'm going to add to that a quiver, which comes with 6 arrows, I believe. It's just 6 arrows. By the way, whoever's watching, and there are a couple of people, thank you very much. Please share the stream if you care to do so. Right, 5 special rations meals. Okay, and each takes up 1 space in your backpack. Right, now I've got 2 meals. I've got 2 lamp spur from the previous mission, so I might as well add the one that I'm allowed, which is the 3rd one. I've got rope. I'll keep that. So I think quiver contains 6 arrows. Tick them off as they're used. Okay, I'll do that. Padded leather waistcoat. I've got that already, I think. On my endurance, yes, +2 for waistcoat, +2 for helmet. I've already got that. So I can take a herb pouch. It will carry a maximum of 6 potions, herbs, or seeds. Oh, okay. So that increases the space for items in my backpack. That's cool. What I'll do is I'll take a herb pouch, which will then contain the lamp spur potions. So that means I'm only now got 4 items in my backpack of my maximum of 8 allowed. Okay, that's good. So, yeah, good. All right, I've got the Kai shield ready. I've got rope. I'll take a tinderbox because I can start fires with that. That could be useful. So that's another backpack item. Tinderbox. Okay. And then it's also allowing me to port. Well, it's telling me about the various items I can take over from special items that I had before. Now, I'm not going to choose High Desert Phoenix. Yeah, listen, dude, this was originally going to be at 7:30 my time. And normally, if I do a Lone Wolf on a Sunday, normally I'll be aiming to start them either 7:30 or 9 o'clock. So later than this. This is not planned. It's just my plans got rearranged. So I was supposed to be showing a friend Casino and Goodfellas this afternoon, but they have had to wait in for a package to arrive, which should have come yesterday. Anyway, it's a whole big thing. So all my plans have been rearranged. But if you can hang around, that'd be great. I've got positive fandom here.
Hey, Lance, how are you today?
Yeah, I'm all right. This is a very impromptu stream. I normally have more people watching. So that's what happens when you have to do stuff that's unscheduled with 10 minutes notice. But how was the rest of the Lorena stream last night? Did you guys stay on?
It was good. I stayed on to the end. It was a full 3 hours. It was fun. It was great to see you there.
Yeah, I was honored to be invited actually, and it was a lot of fun. And plus, I did a stream with Retro the day before, and was on with her for I think 3 hours or so. So yeah, I really actually now really feel like part of the community, which is makes me feel really good. And one of the things I thought of as soon as I got off the stream yesterday was I should have said that to everybody. I should have said it's interesting that I've been banging on doors in the film industry since 1997, making various projects on my own and also the world of theatre. And the big institutions of that world, I don't feel part of it at all. I feel like an outsider. That's where the name The Outcasts comes from. I've only been doing the YouTube channel thing for a year, and I already feel validated by people who've been doing it, for as long as as they have. I've still got a long way to go, and I've still got a lot to learn, but I already feel far more welcomed and part of an actual community on YouTube within a space of time of 12 months than I have working in the film and theatre industry full time since 1997. So when that hit me last night, it was actually I thought about that when I got off the stream, and it was quite an emotional thing to take in that. But anyway, Old Man Solo Gamer has got to be someone who's into Lone Wolf Adventure series for sure. And also, look at that. I was involved in film from 87 until 2018, and I feel exactly as you do. Yeah, mate, it really can destroy you. It'd be interesting to hear your story sometime. We won't do that today, but definitely contact me though. You can find me on Facebook. I'm really easy to find. So this is book 6. I'm on book 6 of the. However, I think there's 30 books in this series altogether. There's only 10 of them out at the moment of the new editions. After 10, I have to either track down the old editions or I have to wait for the new editions to come out. But the last book I played was a lot of fun. Was Shadow of the Sand, and on the last choice that I made, I let my co-host decide the choice. I actually wanted to go the other way, and they got me killed. So I said, right, we're going back on that because I think the other choice is the correct one. And it turned out that that was. And then you completed the mission. So now you've got a stream on today soon with Russ, right? Isn't that normally, that's normally soon? What time's that?
It's at 10:30 Eastern Standard Time, which is about an hour, a little bit more than an hour from now.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm planning on sort of streaming for a minimum of an hour. So because I'm waiting for my friend to say yes, I'm on my way. But as soon as they say yes, I'm on my way, it takes them at least an hour to get here. So it's not like I'm going to jump off in 10 minutes. So that sounds perfect because I think we'll just get started on this, but I don't think we'll complete it.
Well, I have a hard out at 10. That's usually when I have to go out, which is about 50 minutes from now.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, whilst you've got your magical hair blowing in the breeze, we should continue. Now, the thing that I was just about to do was choose my new skills. So I'm actually going to stop that screen for a second and show my notes, which is actually my character sheet. So this is my character sheet for this guy, right? So that was all the rangers I was doing and stuff. I can get rid of that. That's all gone from the last mission. Okay, so my basic combat skill is 18, but I get +2 for my shield. Ignore the broadsword because I don't have one right now. Summersword I'm taking with me this time. I'm not leaving it behind. So my current combat skill with the shield and the sword is 30 overall. Okay, so we're just gonna add that here with bonuses, which is good, by the way, because as you go further into the books, they get more and more mean. So the combat gets harder and harder and harder. Now my endurance is normally 22, but I get +2 because I've got a waistcoat, and I get +2 for a helmet. So right, so it's 26 at the beginning, which is good. And then I've got all 10 of the basic skills now because every time I did a book, I added another one. So by the time you get to this book, you've got all 10. I've got 38 gold crowns. I've got 14 in my safe in storage, which I didn't take with me last time. So I'm just going to take the 38 and leave those there. I'm taking the summer sword as the magical sword. And then I am taking a bow and a quiver with 6 arrows. These are the items in my backpack. These are my special items. I think there's probably something more I'm going to add here. But I don't know if there's anything. Let me have a quick look. See, there's this evil dagger of Vashna, right? Which that is actually back at the monastery. But when you take this evil dagger, when you use it, it deducts points off your endurance because it's evil. So sometimes it's useful, but I just don't really like the idea of carrying around this evil black dagger burning a hole in my pocket. So I'm not going to take it. I'm gonna leave it behind. If I can bold that, can I bold that? Oh, okay, all right. So I think the other thing I'll take is a canteen of water. That's a special item, so we'll just put that in there. Canteen of water. Okay, cool. And we are ready to go there. So I've also got 3 healing potions on me, which is quite important. And I'm gonna increase this to 8 items, so I can take another 3 meals. So I take that up to 5. There we go. Okay, good. Ready to go. So you can help me choose the skills. So I get to now. I've basically what's happened is I've ascended to the level of. I've gone up in the world because there's 3 years that's taken place between the last mission and this one. So I've gone up to the rank of Kai Master. Once I was but the tutor, now I am the master. Yeah, only a master of evil. I hope not. So so I can choose 3 skills. Now, one of the things I could do is I could choose a weapon skill. For example, I could choose bowmanship or whatever, archery, and that would give me a +2 when I'm using that bow. But I'm not going to pick that. So these are the options, and I've got to pick 3 of them. Okay, so they are animal control, curing, which is a bit like healing but more powerful. So I'm tempted to say no on curing because I've already got healing and I've already got some healing potions, so I think that would be a waste. Invisibility, which is like camouflage except it's more effective. Hunt mastery, which is a bit like hunting for food, which I've already got but more effective. Pathmanship, recognizing the correct path in unknown territory. Now you see that one I think will be useful. There's 2 new psionic skills, or you might want to call them Jedi skills. One is called Psi Surge, which is basically a combat ability, and another one is called Psi Screen. So these are basically more powerful versions of Mind Blast and Mind Shield. They're like the next level up. Thanks for sharing that, Desert Phoenix. I have to do this at a regular time, and unfortunately, I changed the time, so it's my fault that there's not many people here. The other 2 that you can choose from, and these ones are quite interesting, is Nexus and Deviation. So I quite like the sound of Deviation. This skill may warn a Kai Master of imminent or unseen danger, or enable him to detect an invisible or hidden enemy. It may also reveal the true purpose or intent of a stranger or a strange object. And it also enables you to communicate telepathically with another person and to sense if a creature possesses psychic abilities. So that's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah, that's unbelievable. It's quite a trade-off. I liked the one you said before about having an idea or giving you an idea of which path to go down. But this one, that could come in pretty handy if you come across something new and you don't know what it is.
I think that one's probably a must. Let me read out the last one. Nexus, mastery of this Magna skill will enable you to withstand extreme heat or cold without losing endurance points. Now, the region that we're going to is known to be a bit rainy, but I don't think we're going to suffer from extreme heat or cold. So I think that would be a waste. So I think if you're in agreement, Deviation is a pretty good one because it seems to cover quite a lot of bases.
Yeah, I agree. It sounds really excellent. I mean,
yeah,
it sounds really good. So yes.
And then I can pick 2 more. And you liked the sound of Pathmanship. I quite like the sound of that one as well. So I think maybe that one would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Pathmanship will have that. Leaves 1 remaining. So skill number 13. So I'll just recap the remaining choices. We've ruled out Nexus. Psi Surge, which is basically a psionic mind attack, to make someone's brain explode. Psi Screen is basically the defense against that kind of attack. So either of those. Invisibility, which is a stronger version of camouflage, which I already have. Hunt Mastery, which is a stronger version of hunting, which I already have. Animal Control, stronger version of animal kinship. And Curing. I don't think Curing. Possibly one of the Psi ones, but maybe Animal Control. I don't know. What do you think?
Why not the Psi one where you can make someone's brain explode?
I'll read out this Psi. I mean, I'm not sure that's the exact description. This psychic skill enables you to attack an enemy using the force of the mind. It can be used in concert with combat weapons and adds 4 extra points to your combat skill. It's a powerful discipline, but it's a costly one. For every round of combat you use Psi Surge, you must deduct 1 endurance point. So it drains you a bit. And you decide on a round if you're going to use it, and then you add 4 to the die roll. Pretty effective weapon. The weaker but similar Kai discipline of Mind Blast can be used against an enemy without using any endurance points, but adds 2 combat points. Yeah, so I've already got that one. Mm-hmm. So I can go for the weaker version, or I can go for the one that deducts endurance points. Psi Surge cannot be used in combat if your endurance falls below 6, and not all of the creatures you encounter will be affected by it. So if you choose this skill, write Psi Surge plus combat skill, but -1 endurance points per round. Okay, so we're going to go for that one?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Psi Surge. Okay, so Psi Surge. All right. I'm adding that to my character sheet. I'm sure I could have a prettier looking character sheet than this if I knew what I was doing with Photoshop and alike. Okay, so I'm just going to add that to my combat bonuses. So another combat bonus is +4 with the +4 with the Psi Surge, Psychic Surge. They should call it the you lose your shit. you lose your shit skill. Go ape shit. Okay, but -1 to endurance for every round it's used. Okay, so kind of that's probably go in with that at the beginning, do a lot of damage, and then don't have to use it again if you're going up against a powerful enemy. I think that will be quite useful. All right, okay, good. So we're ready to go then. So there's a lot of waffle about what's happening that I'm going to cut through all of that. The basic thing that you need to know is in the last mission, we recovered a magical book, a bit like the Bible of my particular my particular following, the Jedi Bible, if you like. So the race of people that I belong to, they're called the Kai, and they're basically like fighting monks, and they protect the borders of their country, which is located just north of here. Now, one of the things that I found in this Magna Kai, which is this Bible-like book of the Kai, is reference to this powerful amulet that could do various things for our order. And I'm trying to retrain a new order of monks because, of course, they're all killed in the first book, which you participated in. You'll remember.
Yes, I was with you for the first one.
You were. We were all massacred, except for me. I escaped. So, and it's rumored that this amulet is in the city of Vareta, which is here. So in the opening passage, which I won't read out in its entirety, basically we travel down to the town of Ruanan, and then we do a diversion. And I'll get the larger map up for just a second. Mm-hmm. We do a little diversion, and we go round because there's a gorge called the Macon Gorge, which is actually better known as the Chasm of Doom. I know because I've been there. And that Chasm of Doom, which is this big chasm along here, is filled with undead and all sorts of other nasty creatures. The city of Macon, which is the one that used to bridge it, it now lies in ruins, and you can't actually cross it that way. So in the preamble, I basically travel down to the city of Kasorn, which is here, in the mini nation of Kasorn, and then travel head west to the town of Qualen, which is here, and then travel from Qualen to Vareta. Now, this part of the country is known as the Stormlands, and all of these little blips that you see going off, these are all individual nations. So Magnador, for example, mountainous region with a lot of small mines, and so on and so on. These are all of these little regions are run by they're like little fiefdoms, basically, of the Stormlands. This is Lyris, for example, and they're all kind of it's a region that's all a bit at war with itself. So we don't know exactly what kind of people we're gonna meet. Yeah, Desert Phoenix agrees. He wanted size screen. More like a sect of people, not really a race. Yeah, that's right. So the Kai are like the Jedi. They're humanoid, but they're like an order.
Cyprus would have been good too, Lance. That would have been also a good choice.
Yeah, it is Sunday, and I'm ill prepared. So forgive my minimum vocabulary. It takes my brain about an hour to kick in until I'm at full award-winning writer mode. So, all right, okay. So I'm gonna put the big map back up because that's easier to see. And actually, our first choice in the book is that we've arrived at the city of Varetta.
Yes.
And I'll tell you what it says. It says, oh, here we go. No, sorry, it's slightly earlier than that. 5 days later, you arrive safely on the outskirts of Qualen, and in the evening of twilight, you find yourself gazing upon the fortified walls that surround the quiet river town. Now, to reach Varetta, you must cross the river, and only here at Qualen is there a bridge which spans the fast-flowing waters of the Qual. That's the river. Mm-hmm. So, sorry, we're not quite at Varetta yet. We're at Qualen, which is here on the map. It's this town. So we're trying to cross this river. The highway divides as it approaches the town wall, and there are 2 gates that provide access to its east side. Now, right, we choose our skills wisely because there are 3 options. We can either go in the north gate or the south gate. However, it says if we have the Magnified discipline of pathmanship, which we do, because we chose that one, turn to 308. So let's go to 308 and see what it says. And our adventure is off. We are underway. Okay, so at 308, it says your Magnified skill reveals to you the meaning of a symbol which is carved into the stone of the South Gatehouse. It is a winged spur, the emblem of the army of Lyris. Right. Now that is, you see, this is the map on the inside of the book. It's really nice. And then on the edges of this, you've got all the... sorry, I need to hold it up properly. You've got all the emblems of the different houses. Very, very Game of Thrones. So that is the emblem that's on the wall. That's
the winged spur.
Yeah, that's right. That's the army of Lyris. So okay. The gate is the entrance to a gatehouse. The highway that leads to the north gate shows signs of heavier and more frequent use. Its deeply rutted surface bears the brunt of regular merchant traffic to and from the city of Casorn, where the tracks that scar the surface here are only those of iron-shod horses. The border guards of Lyris have a notoriously poor reputation for hospitality, and it would be wise to avoid them wherever possible. Right, okay. So basically what it's saying to us is don't go in the south gate, go in the north gate. Yeah?
Yes.
If we go in the south gate, we're going to meet these unhospitable guards. So you okay with that? We're going to go in the north gate then?
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I think that's the advice being given. So I did like the way that what's the guy's name who looks like Gandalf, who was on the stream last night? Your guy that helps you out on your channel. Casino.
He doesn't help me out on my channel.
I thought he was the guy that helped. Culture Casino.
No, he doesn't.
He had a way of pronouncing your name that was very unique.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we know each other we've known each other for many, many years, and I consider him a great friend and a complete gentleman. He hasn't really been on my channel. I haven't really been on his channel, but we stream together on other people's channels quite a lot. He
seems like a really nice guy. I've caught him on quite a few different streams. Okay, forgive me while I chuck some grapes.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure. I have my fruit cup with me. Don't worry, it's all good.
Well, I haven't eaten any lunch because my plan was I was going to cook my date some lunch. I've got all the lunches all prepared. We were going to watch Goodfellas and Casino because they've never seen them.
Wow.
And then after that, I was going to do this stream. All gone completely tits up. So never mind.
I always use that term, tits up.
Yeah, that's a very British phrase. I think the phrase for it in America is foobar.
Yes.
Okay.
But tits up sounds so much better.
Tits up is funnier. Okay, here's what we find at 137. a peasant wagon and a merchant caravan, both bearing the Toa-tree emblem of Cassiorn. Yeah, that's probably on this chart somewhere. Are waiting in front of the town gate. You bring your horse to a halt and take your place in the line. As slowly the great door of the rust-red iron creaks open. The guard appears and gestures the wagon and the caravan to enter, but he brandishes his spear menacingly as you prepare to follow close behind them. The town levy is 3 gold crowns, stranger. Pay or turn away. Okay, well, if you wish to pay the town levy, give the guard 3 gold crowns. If you do not wish to pay this tax and attempt to just ride past him, I think we should pay because I've got an abundance of money.
Yeah, you what was it, 12 or 14 coins you have? We can give him. I'm sorry.
I've got 38, and I actually think I was supposed to roll for. I've got 38 on me. I've got 14 at home, and I think at the beginning of the adventure I was supposed to roll for 10 more, but well, if I've skipped that, so if I did roll for 10 more, they're also going to stay at home. So okay, so we're going to pay the fee, yeah?
Yes.
So we go to 332. I've deducted the monies. 332. 332, yeah. 332. 331. 332. Okay, here we go. Oh, this is a big section. You enter a wide street. Okay, so we got through. That's all good. Where black iron lanterns swing above the doors of shops and houses. Their oily black smoke stains the walls and adds a pale gloom to the darkening sky. The street descends towards the River Qual, where flatboats lie moored to the rich merchant wharfs. Qualand stands at the most northerly point of the river that can be navigated by boat or barge. It is here that the river connects with the caravan routes to Cassiorn and the Last Lands. This is a vital trade route that ensures the financial future of the town. Okay. Yeah, I guess so, because it's this river goes quite a way, doesn't it?
Yes, certainly.
All the way down here and then connects with all these towns in the south. So yeah, okay, I kind of see that. As you approach to a wide stone bridge, you see an impressive-looking hostelry with extensive stables and outhouses. A painted shield hangs above the courthouse gate, proudly displaying its name, the Barrel Bridge Tavern. Sounds like a pub.
Yes.
Awesome. The moment you enter the courtyard, a stable boy appears from nowhere and bids you welcome. Hello. He takes charge of your horse and shows you the door to the tavern hall. It is crowded, despite the early hour, and a roaring fire blazes in the great stone hearth. So basically, this is a city of alcoholics because they're already out. They're already out on the piss, as we say in England. The smell of roasting beef makes your mouth water, reminding you that you have not eaten today. The price indicates that you have to pay 2 gold crowns to eat, 3 gold crowns for a room. Well, I don't know if I want a room yet, do I? Okay, there's a lot of options here. If you do not have enough gold crowns or to afford both, turn immediately to 91. Well, I do, so we won't do that. If you take a seat and order some food, go to 172. If you decide to approach the bar and inquire about a room, go to 232. But if you have the discipline of pathmanship or deviation, well, we've got both of those.
Mm-hmm.
Turn to 346. So I guess we're turning to 346. Right, here we go. Now there's some more options. Seated near the fireplace are 3 surly-faced drinkers, their tunics stained with the grime of travel. Each wears a badge upon their chest embroidered with the crossed swords of Veretta. Yeah, I'll see that emblem. It's a red shield with crossed swords. Interesting. You can tell from their demeanor that they're soldiers of fortune and probably in the pay of a captain who comes from the same city. If you wish to join these mercenaries and perhaps find out more about the city of Veretta, that's one option. If you choose not to approach them, go to the bar, another option, or you can take a seat and order some food. Okay, so we have a potential source of extra information, but that may also kind of give away who we are. Or, well, we don't have to say who we are, but food or ask about a room for the night. What do you reckon?
I want to approach them.
Yeah, I kind of figure we should. It seems like our skill of deviation is a bit wasted if we don't use it. 1, 2, 5. Okay, I'm going to go with RM's decision on that, bearing in mind that, as I always say to my guest co-hosts on Lone Wolf, if it's a bad decision, it's your fault. The soldiers are swilling ale and reminiscing about their campaign victories with wild exaggeration. Oh, yes, I remember when I killed 20 men. They are brash and loud, and yet an uneasy silence quickly descends when you're approaching. So it's like you sit down and it's like a hay bale goes past, you know. You notice that their hands are no longer grasping their mugs of ale and are now resting nervously on the hilts of their heavy-bladed swords. Okay, here are our options. If you offer to buy them a drink, turn to 30. If you ask permission to join them, turn to 260. Or you can ignore them and take a seat somewhere else and go and order some food. I think offer to buy them a drink.
Absolutely.
So, you look very tired, men, like you fought a good fight. How about I buy you a round of ales? Let's see what they say to that. The three men exchange weary glances before offering you a seat. A pockmarked warrior snaps his fingers and shouts across the crowded hall, "Wench, 4 flagons of ale!" Okay, there you go. It's all very of the time. Beer is drawn into 4 large earthenware vessels, each holding half a gallon of ale. Staggering beneath their combined weight, the serving girl finally arrives and places the flagons on the table. 8 gold crowns, please, love. Right, okay, well,
that's pricey, Lance. That's pricey.
Yeah, well, that is pricey. I guess fortunately, I do have a lot of money. So, which is, not something I can say in real life, but it's fun here. So, that takes us down to 27. We're going through our money quickly here.
Yeah.
Okay, because if we don't then pay for the drinks that we've ordered, I think that's going to be bad. So that is one of the options. 232. Okay, so here we go. A toast to our new friend, cries the soldier with the pockmarked face. Honor in battle. Oh, shouts the red-headed man. Sorry, that's a different person. Honor in battle. And a full purse for the victor, retorts the other. They laugh heartily and raise their flagons to their lips. Their smiling faces are completely hidden by the jugs as they gulp down their fill. A full minute passes of silence before the 3 jugs are slammed empty on the table. Strong beer soon dissolves their guardedness and they become very talkative about themselves. You take this opportunity to ask them what they know about the Law Stone. Not very subtle, am I? Do you know where the Law Stone of Veretta is, please? Legend, belches the redhead. I could do that, but it's Sunday afternoon and I've got RM on, so I won't. Belches the redhead. Myth and nonsense. Not so, interrupts the pock-faced one. It's real enough, but it was lost years ago. The Law Stone is magical. They say it holds a power that can turn an ordinary man into a king. Upon hearing this, the other soldiers begin to snigger. This pock-faced soldier ignores them and continues. The Law Stone isn't any longer in Veretta. Hundreds of years ago, during the war, the Law Stone, it was stolen by a Salanese prince who used it in battle to inspire his followers. That fool believed it made him invulnerable. However, this was not so. He was killed in battle aboard his barge at Rem of Lewin, and the Law Stone was lost when it fell from his hand in the depths of the river Storm. Yet that is not the end of the story. Now, I've heard many tales about the scepter having been found, but none are really true. Legend holds that whoever wields the true Law Stone shall be the rightful ruler of all the Stormlands. For this reason, more than any other, the Law Stone is coveted by many unscrupulous lords who dream of having such dominion. If you wish to know more, mate, you should go to Veretta. There are many folk who have devoted their entire lives to studying the Law Stone. The scholars and the sages of Brass Street, for example. Oh, yes, the sages. Now, they're the ones that can help you the best. You thank the soldier for his assistance, and then you take leave of the company. If you wish to order some food, turn to 172. If you decide to go to the bar and inquire about a room, well, I've got food of my own, so let's not spend any more money. So inquire about a room?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the innkeeper. You're going to love this. I've got a great picture of him. He's described as fat and oily. That's one of Gary.
Wow.
That's one of Gary Chalk's pieces of artwork, and Gary Chalk is still with us. Joe Deaver, who wrote the story, is sadly no longer with us, but Gary Chalk, who does all the little quirky drawings, which I always loved. And he did, I think he did the cover for the original. This is the original cover, which is like this sort of mutant dragon toad thing, and then the new cover is a different artist, I believe. So, but I like them both. So this is what the innkeeper has to say. The innkeeper is a fat and oily individual with small bulging eyes and a crooked smile. Yeah, we see all that. You're in luck, my friend, he says, rummaging through pockets of a striped apron. We have one room left, room 17. Here's the key, 3 gold crowns, payment in advance, if you please. You pay the innkeeper. Right, so gold crowns eliminated again. We are now down to 24. Okay, good to find some. We better go rummaging in a few places, see if we can get some. You pay the innkeeper. You're hungry and you need to eat. Okay, if you take a meal from your backpack, yeah, that's what I'm going to do because I don't want to pay for food. So 219, we're going to 219. And I've got to erase a meal. Oh, right. Okay, yeah. It's all happening. Got another picture. This guy suddenly storms into the inn.
And he's holding his sword and the hilt. It doesn't look good, Lance.
Suddenly there's a mighty crash at the hall as the hall door is slammed shut. Into the tavern strides a black-browed young lordling wearing a flamboyant costume of ebony and gold. He makes a ceremonious display of removing his velvet cloak and pompously demands food and wine. Give me food and wine, woman. It takes 3 serving women and the innkeeper to see to his wishes. Does it now? His manner is so insulting that you are not surprised to see the many scars that disfigure his young face. He must be continually provoking fights and duels. The lordling chooses to seat himself at a table already occupied by a small, thin, inoffensive old man. Within seconds, there is a thunderous outburst of foul language. The lordling grabs the old man by the throat, lifts him one-handedly from his seat and hurls him to the floor. You stinking, snivelling toad. How dare you sit with me? He bellows. Bewildered and frightened, the little man fumbles an apology. Oh, I mean no offence, sir. But to no avail, the lordling kicks back his chair and towers over the wretch, his hand now clasped around the silver hilt of his sword. The tavern crowd falls silent. They are viewing the scene with relish. For clearly the lordling's intention is to kill the helpless old man. If you possess a bow and wish to use it. So I do have a bow. So we could use the bow or just carry on watching.
I don't want to get involved.
Yeah, I mean, the Kai in me, as in, goodly Jedi Ben Kenobi side of my personality, thinks I should teach this scruffy ruffian a lesson. But I'm on a mission and probably shouldn't attract attention to myself side of me thinks perhaps I shouldn't. So you think we shouldn't?
Yeah, I don't think we should get involved. What do you want to do, Lance? What are you thinking?
Well, I do tend to tweak the nose at terror, but I'm going to see what the option. I'm going to see what it says if we don't get involved, and I'm going to reserve the right to pull out my bow if that's a disastrous RM decision. So let's have a look.
Okay.
78. Oh, hang on a minute. That's if I use the bow. If you do not. Oh, right. Wait a minute. Listen. We're going into combat, whatever.
Oh, so there's no choice.
That's going to make it. That's going to change it, because I think it's just saying if you want to use your bow, do so. But if you don't use your bow, you prepare yourself for combat and leap to the defense of the old man, because I guess because a Kai would do that. So it's not like it's giving us the option of going into combat or not. In that case, if we're going into combat anyway, I'll use the bow first for sure. See if we can disable him. With speed and grace of movement that marks you out as a Kai Master, you load, aim, and take fire. Your arrow pierces the lordling's forearm as his sword is descending, causing his blow to splinter stone, not skull. He utters a shrill cry and spins around, cradling his wounded arm as he staggers back. "Curse you, scum!" he shrieks. "I am Rourke, highborn of Armory. I shall have your life for this, mark my words." Trembling with pain and fury, he struggles in vain to regain his composure. Loudly, he demands for his sword and cloak from the innkeeper before stumbling into the night, cursing and so forth. Okay, so we avoided the combat by doing that. The other one is you go into combat with him. So either way, you attack him. I have a feeling, though, that once you go to... it says on the combat option, once you reduce his endurance to less than 11, turn to another number. So I don't think you're going to get to kill this guy either way. So let's stick with that bow option. And then this is what happens. "My humble thanks," says the frail old man as you help him to his feet. "I'm forever in your debt." Taking him with the arm, you escort him to his table, where he gathers up his scattered belongings. "My name is Cyrillus. I'm a magician." Of course you are. Any old man in distress in Lone Wolf is normally a magician in secret. I've learnt this. He says meekly, as if apologising for some weakness or abnormality. "I claim no great understanding of the arcane. My talents are rather modest by any standard. I only dabble in simple tricks, earning my keep with amusements and sleights of hand." Your expression betrays you, and the old man is quick to note your look of sudden interest. He says he entertains the courtiers of Veretta. If you wish to ask him about the law stone of Veretta, turn to 83. If you do not wish to question him, and bid him good night. Well,
we're totally asking him.
Yeah, we're totally. I mean, it's all been a bit of a waste of time if we don't question him. So, 83. Let's question him for sure. The old man narrows his mousy eyes and looks at you with a cautious gaze. I bet he does. "It is but a legend. Some say it contains great power. Others say its power existed only in the minds of those who crave to own it. Whatever the truth is, the law stone's been lost for hundreds of years." You sense the old magician is not telling you all he knows. If you choose to identify yourself and confide in him the nature of your quest, turn to 199. 119. If you decide not to reveal your identity, you can bid him good night.
Let's go ahead and reveal our identity.
Yeah, I think we have to take the risk because he definitely knows more. This could be a mistake, but let's see. Cyrillus's eyes open with surprise, and you can see the startled whites around his mousy brown pupils. "Lone Wolf?" he whispers incredulously. "I should have known. Humble apologies. I thought that perhaps you sought the law stone for less honourable reasons." An excited Cyrillus talks at great length about the legend of the law stone. You learn that it remained in Veretta after Sun Eagle's quest. That's my great master, where it was set in the throne of Lyris in the Tower of the King hundreds of years ago. During the War of the Law Stone, it was stolen by a Salanese prince called Kasor. He set the stone upon a gold scepter, used it in battle to inspire his fanatical followers and crush his foes. He believed it made him invulnerable, but this was not so. He was killed on his royal barge during the Battle of Rem, and the law stone was lost when the gold scepter fell from his hands into the depths of the River Stom. Okay, so the law stone is in this scepter that looks like that. I guess that's the stone at the end of it. There has since been many stories of the scepter having been found, but none of these fanciful tales were true. It's said that whoever wielded the law stone would be the rightful ruler of the Stormlands. For For the reason it has often been sought by evil or unscrupulous warlords, but none have been successful. Okay, so that's kind of what the other guys told us, but there's a little bit more detail. Sirius does not know where the Lawstone is, but he does know a respected man in Veretta who claims to know its exact whereabouts. Let me ride with you to Veretta in return for the privilege. I shall take you to this man. Your basic Kai instincts inform you that this offer is genuine. Gladly you nod your agreement and arrange to meet him. To continue, turn to 5. Okay, so I guess we're traveling to Veretta with Gandalf in tow, it would seem.
Well, that took quite a twist, and it's nice that he recognized who we are and thinks that we are noble.
Okay, so I guess I go to I go to sleep for the night because a shrill cock crow heralds the dawn of a new day. By the time you've dressed and gathered together your equipment, Sirius is already waiting for you in the courtyard below. Glorious morning, just had my breakfast, he says cheerfully. We'll have difficulty reaching the halfway inn by nightfall. Okay, so it's clearly to do the journey. There's a halfway inn between here and the city. By the way, the distances on these maps are much bigger than they appear.
Right.
So the distance from Qualen to Veretta is what he's basically saying is 2 days travel, and there's an inn that's halfway. I'm guessing it's probably around this bridge somewhere. So you bid farewell to the innkeeper and his son and urge your horses out into the narrow street that leads west to the gatehouse. By mid-morning, you're riding across the gentle hills, crested with yellow-leaved trees. How pretty. Okay. And matching your top, RM. The hilltops are shrouded with mist, very Lord of the Rings. Occasional rays of sunshine break through into the lush fields below. Time passes swiftly as Sirius recounts you with histories and legends of the area. You learn that the rich, fertile kingdoms bordering the River Storm have a wild and turbulent past, split by national rivalries, ambitions of petty princes who continue to prey upon one another. Lyris is embroiled in the war with Magador, Dellen with Salony, Salony with Slivia. So all of these little fiefdoms, Slivia here, Lyris here, you've got 2 more over to the side. In fact, I can expand the view of this map. Are also at war with each other. So it's a bit of a warring area. It's mid-afternoon when you catch sight of a small village on the road ahead. There are many wagons parked beside the highway, and a crowd is gathered in a field nearby. Oh, I sense a potential to win some money. As you ride past, you notice a large placard nailed to the side of one of the wagons, which basically says this. Can you read that? Let me.
Yes,
take down the map. Can you read it?
Wait a minute.
Can you read that? Archery tournament.
To make the screen bigger. Just 1 second. It says archery tournament. Entrance 2 gold crowns. First prize the silver bow of Duarden.
I quite like the idea of possessing the silver bow of Duarden. If you wish to enter the tournament 1 for 1, if you decide not to enter or you cannot afford it, well, we can. What do you reckon?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I quite like the sound of the silver bow. Although I bet the silver bow is probably just a normal bow painted silver. Sirius offers to stay and look after the horses while you take part in the contest. He says that archery holds no interest for him, but you suspect this is just an excuse for him to take an afternoon nap. You hand him the reins of your horse and hurry to join a line of men and women entering the field. Okay, sorry, just quickly responding to a text from my friend. All right, so I think they'll be on their way, but that's good. It's still going to take them an hour to get here. So I can continue with this until you have to go.
Yeah, I have about 5 minutes left.
Lance. Oh, has it gone that quick already?
Yeah.
Damn.
A good time.
Okay, well, let's try and get to the end of the archery contest if we can. Okay, so The event reminds you of something you've seen in the past. Eventually, you reach the gate where a cheerful old lady is collecting 2 gold crowns, please. You hand them over, enter a large tent where the other competitors are busily stringing their bows. It then asks me if I have a bow. I do. Turn to 340. I bet you get given a proper crap one if not, that someone's like bashed. Okay. A small, flat-faced man dressed in a silver-braided jerkin enters the tent, calls for everyone's attention, quickly explains the rules that govern the tournament. He then ushers you onto the range. At the far end of the field stands a line of targets, each with 10 coloured rings marked 0 to 9. Each archer is given 3 arrows, for which he must get a minimum score of 8 in order to qualify for the next round of the tournament. Pick 3 numbers from the random number table and add them together. If you have the Magnified discipline of weapon mastery with your bow, you can add 3, but I don't. In this instance, are you only okay? Yeah. If your total score is now 7 or higher, okay, right. So we've got to do 3 die rolls basically. All right. So we're going to take this down, and we are going to put up our die rolling app, which is this one. It's different from the last one I had because that one's gone now.
Oh, you said they discontinued it or something?
Yeah, it just disappeared offline. So we're going to roll 3d10. So here is the first one. 6. I'm pretty sure we're going to get over 8. Yeah. Okay. So we score very well. Might as well roll the third one just to see how well we do. Look at that. 9, 9, and 6. My guy he's obviously the shit when it comes to archery. So I don't need the weapon skill. I'm good anyway. 26. Let's see what happens. I had some terrible combat situations in the last book. Okay. You've got to see this picture of this guy. Right. Okay. So what happens now is your score qualifies for your place in the final. For only one other archer has scored more than 8 points. His name is Oltan. He is a tall man with rugged features, a ranger from the mountains of the north. He wields a longbow crafted from orange tow wood, and his skill with the weapon is formidable. It will be a challenging contest. This tournament final is played out using the normal rules of combat. However, you may not gain bonuses for the shield or any armor from the weapon other than a bow. Oh, right. So I don't get the bonus skill for the summer sword that or armor. That's bad. Weapon with the bow, weapon mastery with the bow grants you 3 combat skill. I don't have that. Right, this is this guy. He looks like a right so and so.
Yeah, he does. He looks like business.
Normally, you'd right. Okay, so you can use Mind Blast during this combat if you want to disturb Alton with your psychic powers, but not Psi Surge, as using this would be too painful. Right. Well, I'm definitely going to use Mind Blast, which gives me +2. That gives me a combat skill of 20, but that means he's got a combat skill of 24. So I'm rolling at -4 on this. And the only difference is that you begin with 50 endurance or target points. Okay. As does he. Right. Okay. Okay. So let's do this combat then. This is going to be bad. I've got to roll really high. Okay. So he's got 4 more points than me. So that gives him a considerable advantage. Don't know why I decided to do this. I should have picked weaponry. Right. So yeah. So, and I'm gonna use my. Okay. So I'm on the -3, -4 chart. So if I roll high, I really want to roll kind of 6s and aboves. Okay. All right. And I'm going to ask you to keep a tally of damage. I have rolled 2. That is bad. Okay. So this guy has lost 2 and I've lost 5.
Oh, man.
All right. So 2 and 5. Okay. He's lost 2. I've lost 5.
Okay.
Second. Here we go. He has lost 4 and I've lost 4. So that's 6 and 9 in total. Nine to me, 6 to him. Is that right? Yeah. If you keep that tally for me, is that all right?
Yes, I got it. I wrote it down.
Okay, great. Oh shit. I've lost another 5 and he's lost 3. Okay, so when either of us has lost up 50, that's when the contest is over, and that's who's won. I'm rolling really low here. So I've lost 4 and he's lost 4.
Okay.
What's the total that I've lost now?
You have lost 18.
And he's lost?
And he has lost 13.
Okay, all right, we can still turn this around. That was going to be a 10.
Yeah, that looked like 10, but so
it's going to be a 10. Okay, he's lost 5. I've lost another 4. We really need to be rolling 6s and aboves. Come on. Let's get a 10 here. That was going to be an 8. 4. Okay, so I've lost 4 and he's lost 4 again.
Okay.
7. That's a bit better. I've only lost 2 and he has lost 7.
Okay, 7, 2. Okay.
What are the totals now?
The total now is 18. 23 for us.
Yeah.
And for him, 10, it's 18. 27.
Okay, good. So now we're winning. So just make a note of those totals. 27 and was it 23 for us?
Yes.
Okay, 27 and 23. Okay, so we're adding to 27 and 23 now. Here we go. 5. Okay, we've lost 4. He's lost 5.
Okay.
So that's not the worst. Could have been worse. But we want a 9 or a 10 here. God's sake, that's 4 each. And 4 each again.
Yeah, it's really low.
Come on. 5. That's 4 to us and 5 to him.
Okay.
Do you want to total those again, or?
Yeah. So that is. So it's 17 each, not including the 20. So we're still tied.
So
speaking,
we've taken 17 more damage each on top of before. So that means if we were at 23, we're at 40 now.
Yes.
And so 40 for him, and he was at 27.
Yeah.
So he's at 37. He's at 44.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's close.
Oh boy. So 44 and 40 for us.
7. Okay. He has just lost 7. That puts him at 51. We've won.
Yay!
And we lose 2. Yeah, so we won, but only just.
And with that, I have to go, Lance.
Yeah, okay, no problem. So if Alton is the first to lose. Okay. All right, cool. Well, thanks so much for joining me briefly for this. And if I'm still around, I'll try and pop on your stream and say hi to you and Russ. Give Russ my best. I'm just going to wrap up for about another 20 minutes, and then I'll be ending it. Thanks so much, Aram.
That was fun. Soon. Thanks so much, Lance. Bye.
Take care. Bye. Okay, always great to have Aram on my streams. Do check out her channel at Positive Fandom. She's also part of the Burnett Network, which is a whole range of different stuff about cultural science fiction and TV shows and films. And they've got a lot of great shows on YouTube. My stomach is rumbling away here. Okay, so now this is what happens. If you are using the Jacan, I'm not using the Jacan. I don't even know what that is. So if you're the first to lose, Alton loses. He does lose. So we go to 252. Let's see what happens. I'll keep the combat chart up in case I need it. A loud cheer shatters the hushed silence when your arrow strikes home. You've won. The villagers are thrilled to have witnessed such an exciting tournament. They press forward and crowd around you, offering you their generous praise. The little man in braided jerkins presents you with your prize. It is a magnificent bow made from wood of rare silver oak. This weapon will add 3 points to your total whenever you're using a bow and are instructed to pick. Okay, so it's a +3 combat with the bow, and it's a +3 on anything to do with bow actions. Enter it in your special items, silver bow of Judon. +3. Bow can be added to your bonus you may already have with weapon mastery, giving you a very useful +6 points when using the bow. I don't have that, but I have a feeling I'm going to pick weapon bow mastery next on the next book. So let me just adjust the charts here. We'll take the combat screen down for the moment. We will put back up the map so we can see where we are. And just put my mic up for a sec. And let me adjust accordingly on my... and I thought I might win some money as well. Now, I had to pay 2 gold crowns to enter this tournament. So that puts that down to 22. I then also... Actually, I think I got 10 gold crowns at the beginning. I'm going to add those to the ones I have at home. So that's 8, because I didn't do that earlier. So back home in my monastery safe, I have 22 gold crowns. I have 22 on me. I'm down to... I was given arrows, so I didn't use any of my own arrows on that. I'm down to 5 arrows in my quiver. And I mean, presumably I can dump my regular bow and just silver bow of Jordan as my second weapon. So it is a special item, but it doesn't need to take up space on my special items. It can be my second weapon. So I'm not gonna so that's okay. So I don't have to take anything off my other items. And then proudly you shoulder your valuable prize and head back to Cyrilis. Well done, mate. Good job. I was asleep through the whole thing, didn't see it, but great. You're eager to tell me good news. To continue, pick a number from the random number chart. Oh, okay. So in other words, I've got to roll a dice again. Okay, well, take that down. Put this one back up. We are rolling the dice again. 4. Keeps rolling 4. If the number is 3 or less, turn to 33. If it's 4 or more, turn to 210. Okay. 210. Less than a mile from the village, the road descends into a narrow valley where a castle, part of which has fallen into ruin, is set on a rock shelf beneath a mossy precipice. Castle Tornor, says Sirius, shielding his eyes from the glare of the sun. It's a place of pilgrimage for many people. The water from its famous spa has many healing properties. He leans forward and removes a glass jar from his saddlebag and offers it to you. Tornor water could have its uses for a warrior like you. If you wish to take the glass jar and go and collect some water, or do you want to continue your journey? Well, I think it's a no-brainer that but let's put the map back up because I want to see where this is and see if it's on the main map. Let's see if we can see this. So between Corlin and Veretta, there is no there is no ruin marked on the map there. Certainly not on this one. I'll just have a quick look and see if it's on the bigger one. I'll keep this one up for the moment. No, it's not on the bigger one either. So no extra information to be found there. Okay. All right. Right. Well. Martin Muses, Miss Martin Muses, thanks for popping in. Thank you very much to share the stream. I don't know if Desert Phoenix or Old Man Solar Gamer are still here, but if you are, please let me know, because you can also join in and help me with the choices. If you type quick, there's only a time delay of about 20 seconds. So if I get to a choice where I want people in chat to participate, I'll let you know. And please voice your opinion. So I am going to go and collect a jar of this healing water because I think I should. I've learned in Lone Wolf generally don't always go the quickest route. Besides, the quickest route is not the most fun. Oh, we have a picture of this castle. There it is. Castle Duranor. Partial in ruin, sticking out from a rocky crag. Looks like it's about to fall off. The path that leads to the Castle Duranor is steep and slippery and treacherous to be attempted on horseback. I'll stay behind, mate, while you do the difficult stuff. I think I'll have another nap. So the castle's less than a mile away, but it takes over half an hour to climb up there. The crumbling castle walls are covered with damp foliage and mildew. You follow the sound of the dripping water until you find a small chapel. You discover a sparkling spar of water. You kneel at the altar, filling your glass jar. You hear a noise. You are not alone. If you possess the Magna Kai discipline of Hunt Mastery, I do not have that skill yet. That was not one of the ones I chose. So turn to 278. Yeah, well, there's probably going to be a creature or something here. Oh, not quite what I was expecting. You turn your head to see a shambling, a blunt-nosed horror emerging from the shadows. It emits hideous, snickering cries, lashes out with one of its 4 razor-sharp claws, sending you tumbling backwards. You quickly regain your feet, but the surprise and ferocity has left a gaping wound in your arm. The creature's eyes glow with hatred as it comes hungrily towards you. If you have a bow, right, yeah, I do have a bow, funnily enough. Okay, so I've just lost 3 endurance points. Great that you're still here, mate. I'll be chucking some choices your way. Unless you feel brave enough to come and pop on the stream with me. If you want to do that, let me know, and we'll figure out a way to send you the link. I could always pop it in the chat quickly, and you could I could delete it. So I guess I could do that, mate. I could do that. If you don't want to pop on, that's fine. And mate, you don't have to come on camera. If you just want to do audio only, that's absolutely fine. I have no issue with that whatsoever. But if you don't fancy that desert, just stay there and contribute in the chat. So I've just lost 3 endurance. That's a bit annoying, but I'm going to get that back pretty quick. So I think that's just a hindrance, really. So my endurance is currently down to 23. But I can use my healing in a bit. Okay, I do have a bow. So let's go to 198. I think we're going to be in a combat situation very shortly. In fact, now, I think. 198. There is only enough time for you to fire 1 shot before the monster is upon you. To stop the creature dead in its tracks, I think I just ate a grape that was a bit off. You must hit a vital organ. If you aim at one of the creature's eyes, turn to 268. Aim at its heart or its legs. Okay, Phoenix, I need your assistance on this one. Now, I'm thinking I shoot it in the eyes or the heart. Definitely not the legs. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dash to the bathroom quickly, which will give you enough time to type a response for me, whether we're going for heart or eyes, dude. And don't cheat and look up what the best option is. Just tell me what you think. Okay, I'm back. You don't have any of the books. Okay, so that's fine. Heart. Okay. We can heart you passing. Very funny. Okay, mate. I think the heart's a good choice. I think it's got 2 eyes, so you know, one of the creature's eyes I don't think will be enough. Let's go for the heart. Let's go for the heart. Assuming it has one. 2, 4, 3. Well, hang on a minute. What do we know about this creature? Let's have a look at the glossary in the back. Do you know what? Because I did not read that information. There's always information. Yeah, so there's 2 monsters. Okay, Serenese of Salony, Gwynine the Sage, Rourke of Armory, Sun Eagle. That's the guy that we gave him a bit of a hiding. So there's nice descriptions about all the towns and stuff in the back. There's 2 monsters, a Damacoid and a Yorshath, but neither of those are bipedal reptilian. And yeah, I forgot the name of this monster, but I don't think it was either of those, was it? So, okay, all right. So we're going for the heart. 2, 4, 3. Let's see what happens. 2, 4, 3. That was supposed to be, yeah. We can. Was it? Okay. Damn corrective text, eh? Okay, here we go. The rancid stench of the creature's breath fills your nostrils as you release the straining bowstring. Pick a number, and then you can add 3 to the number you've picked. Well, I can do that because I've now got the cool bow, the silver bow of Pantalon or whatever it's called, and I can use it to. Well, I've already discarded my old bow. I'm keeping the good one, and I'm going to add 3 to this number. So let's see what we get. 11. I like that. 11 is good. So it says if you there are 4 options, by the way. If it's between 9 and 12, turn to 264. Oh, there's a misprint in the book here. Look, there's a misprint. Look at that. If it's 9 or higher, turn to 264. If it's 9 to 12, turn to 264. So I feel like if it's 9 to 12, maybe it should be something else. But okay, well, we'll go with what's here. 264. The creature stops in mid-stride as if suddenly paralyzed by an invisible force. A gurgling cloak escapes from its lips, croak, as it locates your arrow with its trembling paws. It sways and crumples to its knees. Death is now but seconds away. It shudders and then keels over on its back, writhing for one brief moment in the mud before becoming quite still. Okay, 112 to continue. 112. 112. Let's have a look. Creature shudders and its arms jerk as it claws the air. As it dies, its body twitches with a few final convulsions. You stare down. You hurry over to the altar where you fill your glass with the Tenor water. The healing spa will restore 6 endurance points. Well, I'll drink some while I'm there and just get my endurance back to 26. And you can refill the jar and put it in your backpack. You can mark it in your backpack. It can be carried in the herb pouch if you have one. I do have a herb pouch, and I've got space for one more item in the herb pouch. So I'm going to put it there. So that's the Tornor water. Let me just write that down. I have a feeling that water is going to come in handy later, and that heals 6 points. Better than Lampspa, which heals 4. So I've got quite a few healing things now. Oh, I ate a meal, so I turned down to 4 meals there. All right. Okay. If you decide to search the rest of the chapel, if you decide to leave the chapel and return to Sirius, pick a random number. Well, I'm going to search the rest of the chapel first. Hopefully there isn't more of these things. But the chapel has lain derelict for many years, open and exposed to the elements. Okay, let's take this down. Get the map back up. No, we want the big one. We want the big one. There we go. All right. In one corner, you discover a gaping hole that opens into another chamber below. A rat sits on the remains of a corpse, staring up at you in surprise, the dull green light of the chapel reflecting its peppercorn eyes. You become accustomed to the gloom. The room is full of corpses. These were all unfortunate victims of the Yorshath. Oh, wait, so it was one of these new monsters that I just fought. Right, okay, so the Yorshath, let me just put these here. Yeah, that's the Yorshath is this thing. So that's what I just killed. Pretty mean looking creature. Yeah, in close combat it will tear you to pieces, but it has few vulnerabilities. Yeah, okay, well, it's dead now. Excuse me while I eat grapes. So everything around is encrusted with the detritus of decay, but my gaze is drawn to a bronze warhammer, which is spotless. Okay, interesting. It appears to have been recently forged. If you have the Magnified discipline of Nexus and wish to use it, I don't. If you have a rope, you can attempt to retrieve the warhammer. If you choose to ignore the weapon. Okay, I'm going to try and retrieve it. Sounds interesting. With a rope. 101. You make a noose at the end of the rope. Blah, blah, blah. Pick a number from the random table. If you have discipline of Hunt Mastery, you can add 2 to the number you've chosen, or 3 if you have Law Circle of Fire, if you possess disciplines of Weapon Mastery and Hunt Mastery. If you possess a long rope or 2 ropes, you can add another 2. Okay, all right. Well, I don't possess any of those things. I'm just going to do a die roll. Let me not change the chart back because let's get through this quickly. It is. I've rolled a 7. If your roll is 5 or higher, turn to 207. Okay, 207, 207, 207. You wait with bated breath. You coax and maneuver the noose around the head. It's a tricky operation. It takes 5 minutes to secure the weapon. An examination of your find reveals it to be a very fine weapon indeed. It is wrought of metal bronin, which looks identical to newly cast bronze, but unlike any other regular alloy. If you wish to keep this bronin warhammer, mark it on your action chart. It's a non-magical weapon, but when you use it in combat, it will add 1 point to your combat skill, or 2 if you're fighting an armor-plated foe. I mean, it's not better than the summer sword, and it's not better than my bow, and I can only carry 2 weapons at any one time. So it feels like something I'd like to sell, but yeah, as a non-magical weapon. Yeah, okay. Well, no, after all that, I'm not going to keep this magical hammer. Now I've got to roll a number, and if I took part in the archery contest, I need to deduct 2 from the number. Well, I did take part in the archery contest, so I am going to have to deduct 2. So let's roll the number and see what we get. That was going to be a 10. That was going to be a 10. Anyway, 338. Okay. But I'm hoping this is good rather than bad because I took part in the archery contest. 338. Let's have a look. A shock awaits you at the top of the hill track. Staring down into the valley below, you see your traveling companion embroiled in a struggle with 6 armored horsemen. They have him surrounded, and his attempts at resistance are short-lived. You see him struck on the back of the head and fall limply across the neck of his horse. A moment later, the riders are galloping away with their unconscious captive. They're heading off along the highway to the west. By the time you reach the base of the track, the riders are little more than dots on the horizon. You sprint towards your horse, intent on giving chase before they disappear from view completely. And as you take hold of the reins, you notice Sirius's Oakland staff lying on the ground. You retrieve the staff before setting off in pursuit of your companion. Okay, so I guess that's another item. But I just add that to my... Okay, well, I'm a bit pushed on. I'm going to get rid of my jailer's keys. They're not going to be any use here. Oakland staff. All right. Okay, so that's kind of annoying that they've pissed off with my guide. I guess I could have maybe got there quicker, but I didn't. My fault for pissing about with that hammer that I didn't even want. The chase takes you deep into the heart of Veretian hills. Soon the highway dips and twists and plunges into valleys and hollows before climbing through a dense woodland that clings precariously to every precipice and crag. Hold on, sorry. Okay. So let's look here. I often lose sight of the riders, but my skills of tracking and hunting enable me to follow them. Good. It's not until I reach a tiny village perched on the edge of a tree-lined crag that their trail becomes indistinct. However, you notice there's a stony hill track on the far side of the village that branches off the main highway. If you have the sky discipline of pathmanship, turn to 117. I do have that skill. I noticed that my old skills, for the most part, so far in this adventure, seem to be redundant. There's a picture of a funny bulldog here, but it's not on this section, so I won't show it to you right now. Using your Magna discipline, you examine both the hill path and the highway tracks. To your surprise, you discover that neither route has been used by the horsemen in the last 3 hours. It can only mean one thing. The riders are hiding somewhere in the village. If you wish to choose to ride back into the village, turn to 52. If you decide to hide in the trees and wait for the riders to show themselves, turn to 74. Okay, chat. That's another one that I could do with your advice on. Now, my instinct might be to wait for them as opposed to going into the village, because if I go into the village, I'm probably going to lose the element of surprise. It's interesting that so far I've explored very little of this very little of this map. I don't think I should ride into the village, because I think that's I know they're in the village. They could be waiting for me. It could be a trap. So I think I should hide and wait for them. So let me do that. 74. You do not have to wait very long for the riders appear. As soon as they think you have gone, they emerge. So they were in single file from behind a derelict cottage and draw themselves up into a circle in the center of the village. Although they're out of earshot, you can tell from their frantic movements and gestures they're embroiled in a heated argument. They break the circle and ride towards you. Sirius is still lying unconscious across his horse. He's being towed by the last of the riders. If you have a bow and decide to use it to ambush them, or I can wait until the riders have passed and then launch an attack on the last of their number, or I can decide to let them all pass and then follow them. Interesting. Yeah, Desert Phoenix, that was the option I went with. Okay. My instinct is to attack the last of their number and recapture my guy. So I'm going to go with that. So I don't think attacking them head on, even though, yes, I've got a bow, is the best thing. So let's try and pick off the guy at the end. With bated breath, you wait for the enemy to pass. As the last man rides into view, you break from cover and attack him with swift and fatal efficiency. He tries to raise a shield, but does not react in time to save his life. He tumbles limply to the ground. You cut the reins from the saddle, take off down the hillside with the unconscious wizard in tow. Yes. You hear the confused shouting begin to break out on the road above you and press your horse on. Fortunately, none of your pursuers are able to pick you off with a crossbow, and you come out on a lane. Trees grow thickly either side of the way, and you have no choice but to follow the new path until it finally takes you back to the highway, fortunately deserted by your pursuers. Okay, well, that's good, I guess. So, 188. I haven't had any lunch today, so forgive me for chomping on some grapes. I was supposed to cook my friend lunch, and they had to cancel. Your immediate peril prevents you from dwelling too deeply on the reason why these riders will be trying to abduct Sirius. Poor prospect for ransom, wealthy nor powerful seemingly. I bet this wizard guy is more powerful than he makes out. At the bottom of the crag, reach a stone church and a graveyard loom into view, where the highway turns sharply. Blocking the road west on a charger as black as midnight sits a scar-faced young man. His eyes, it's that guy again. His eyes set in white, his disfigured face as they burn with cold dark glow. You recognize him immediately. It's Rourke, the lording whom you defeated at the Barrel Bridge Tavern. If you possess a silver brooch, turn to 31. If you do not possess this item, I don't think I do possess a silver brooch. I don't. Right, well, 14. Oh, by the way, there's a picture of this dude. There you go. He gets about, doesn't he? He gets about. And there's a chapter about him in the back of the book. Now that's interesting. Let me just read about this guy in the back. So I'm sure I saw a section about him. A highborn noble of Salanese Tom of Amory, son of the heir of the current duke, quarrelsome and boastful, Rourke has access to fine equipment, many hirelings, and wields the laws of his homeland like weapons. Rourke has a cruel sister, Arla, who bears a striking resemblance to her brother. Well, I bet she looks like a right dog's dinner then. A skillful warrior and assassin, she never hesitates to slay whomever opposes her family. Sounds like the queen from Game of Thrones. She's often concealed under her thick plates of gold and black armor. A follower of the ancient being known as Tagazin, Rourke has access to dark magical powers, which enables him to perform terrifying pneumonic summations and bolster himself physically before any combat he must fight. It's rumored that Rourke's highborn family may have ties with the Senna Druids of Salony. Okay, so he looks. There's another picture of him here. What a prick, eh? What a prick. I think we're about to go into a combat situation, guys. And I think after this little section, I think I'm gonna probably call it end of part 1. But let's see how we go. So put the combat dice back up. Abruptly, the riders appear and spread out in semicircle to surround you. So you see, he wasn't alone. We have a debt to settle, Northlander, hisses Rourke. His lips are drawn from his teeth in a contemptuous sneer. I demand payment in full. Madness flashes in his glaring eyes as he removes an amulet from around his neck and holds it high in the air. Come, come, Targazan, I summon thee from the pit of eternal pain. I summon thee. The skin on your arm and neck prickles with dread as the sound of Rourke's terrible invocation, and you cast your eyes around for an escape route. Only the churchyard offers a way past Rourke and his guards, but as you spur your horse through the stone gateway, you are suddenly frozen in terror by what you see before you. Okay. What do I see before me? This guy's a prick. He's got to die. Oh, right. Guys, it's all gone. Very Jason and the Argonauts. Because the undead have started crawling out of their out of the graveyard here. Okay, so I'm in a combat situation. It's an undead summation, combat skill of 18, endurance of 35. Okay, right. Well, I've got combat skill of 30. So screw you, buddy. That puts me on the maximum chart. Let's see what kind of damage I'm going to do. 10. That is good. On the maximum chart, I have killed it in a single blow. The undead creature is dead. So due to the surprise of the attack, deduct 2 points from your combat skill. Doesn't matter. Moreover, you have no time to drink a potion. Doesn't matter. The undead are immune to Scythe Surge and Mind Blast, not using that. If you possess the Summer Sword, you may double all endurance points losses inflicted upon your enemy. No shit. Well, he has really died then. Unless you possess the Magna Discipline Nexus, you must deduct 2 endurance points for every round of combat you fight due to the intense supernature of cold. If you possess a silver... Okay, all right. So, effectively, I win the combat, but lose 2 endurance points, which puts me down to 24 again. Okay. I do win the combat. I turn to 326. 326, let's have a look. As you destroy the last of the fleshless skeletons, you see that the struggle has now spread beyond the walls of the churchyard. From the depths of an open crypt, a shambling mass of zombies are hurling themselves at the riders, tearing the terrified warriors from their saddles. Roark's summonation has spiraled horribly out of control. No living creature is now safe from the terror he's unleashed. The lordling turns and gallops away in blind panic, leaving his followers to their grisly fate. As he disappears, the swirling funnel of darkness slowly fades, and the undead stagger and fall, crumbling away into fine dust. You rush to the aid of the old magician. He lies mortally wounded, pinned beneath the body of his dead horse. As you cradle his head in your hands, his eyes flicker and open. Oh, no. He forces a whisper from blood-flecked lips. Brass Street. Okay. Well, it seems like he is going to die no matter what I do. Okay. So we've got to go to Brass Street. Trickle of blood seeps from the corner of the old man, and his eyes flicker and close. I bury him in the graveyard where he fell and say a silent prayer. Sadness fills my heart, and I set off once more for the highway of Beretta. Now I've got to find. I'm just going to write that down. Brass Street. Lithium. Was mentioned to me earlier in the tavern. Okay. Right. So I think this is where I'm going to leave things. So I turn to 168. So let me put the the things on 168 so I don't lose my place. 168. Oh yeah, and I reached the halfway in at 168. Okay, so I reached the halfway in, so I'm halfway to Veretta, the city which I'm seeking to find the amulet from in the Kingdoms of Terror. So guys, thank you for joining me for this unscheduled stream. Don't forget, on Tuesday, 9 o'clock UK time, I have Debbie Evans coming on to talk about her extensive career as a stuntwoman. Really looking forward to doing that interview. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And then I've also got quite a few other streams in the week. We've got Judge Dredd and Dredd retro review and comparison, where we're giving away a prop from the Judge Dredd movie. In fact, from the Dredd movie. We're giving away a prop to one of our lucky viewers from the Dredd movie, verified as being on the set. So we're going to tell you all about that on the stream. Do join us on that stream. I think that's it from me. Thanks very much for joining me on this rather niche stream of the Lone Wolf Adventure series, but I do enjoy doing these, and I'll see you all again real soon.